Hey there, besties. Thank you for stopping by. I am MICHONDENYSE. We're going to continue with five more benefits that single mothers have available to them to utilize in bringing up their families. So we're going to go over five more, and then I will bring a part 3, 4, and probably a part 5, if not more. So we shall see how long it takes to get to the bottom of this very, very long list. So we already went over the federal Pell Grant, the federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant, the federal work study, the federal student loan, and then there was the diversion cash assistance. Okay. So now on to some things that we are typically familiar with, which would be temporary assistance. Number 1, temporary assistance for needy families, TANF, also known as welfare. TANF is the essential part of the safety net for very low-income families. Its primary aim is to help these families achieve self-sufficiency through a combination of short-term financial assistance and work opportunities. The two types of TANF grants are known as child-only and family grants. Child-only grants, designed to consider only the needs of the child, are usually smaller than family grants, about $8 per day for one child. So what is that? 8 times, just say 30, 8, 16, 24, $240 a month per kid. The second type of TANF grant you may be eligible for is known as a family grant, as what many consider to be the easiest grant to get. It provides a small cash amount on a monthly basis for food, clothing, shelter, and other essentials for up to a period of 60 months, although many states adopt shorter time limits. So when I used to dole out, they were working on the time limits. So the limit is on welfare. So that's the money that they give out, which 8 times 30 days is only $240. It's basically one person as a whole family. So it says 5 years is the max. So if that's the limit, good. At least that's the limit. But remember, that is only for the TANF. So that means welfare, the monetary aspect of it, that's it. So it could be, this doesn't take into account anything else. This doesn't have any bearing on anything else. This is only the welfare part, the money. It says cash benefits vary greatly from state to state. For a family of 3, the maximum TANF amount paid in 2020 varied from $170 a month in Mississippi to $1,086 per month in New Hampshire, the most generous of any state. So family of 3, benefit paid for TANF welfare, $170 per month. Now, I understand that maybe the cost of living, the cost of living is probably cheaper in Mississippi, never been. But when you look at that variance from 170 in Mississippi to 1,086 in New Hampshire, and I'm assuming New Hampshire is more affluent, is it really going to help anyone to do anything? Like, honestly, I feel like it's an insult to say, here you go, $170 a month to live off of. You can make more. You can make $170 a day if you're out here working. Am I lying? I mean, I'm pretty sure you could even do that at Walmart. Shout out to Walmart and Target. Is it worth it to go through all this just to get $170 a month or even $1,086 a month that you're supposed to live off of? These cash grants are often referred to as welfare, and the conditions under which you can receive it largely depend on where you live. States with larger African American populations, all else equal, have less generous and more restrictive TANF policies. Interesting. So at the end of the day, that statement makes me think that they ain't trying to give it out to you blacks. Okay? Let me reread it. It says states with larger African American populations, all else equal, have less generous and more restrictive TANF policies. They don't want to give it to you. Okay? An unemployed single mom with children under the age of 19 is eligible for assistance under TANF. However, the recipient is required to participate in work activities for at least 20 hours per week. Okay? 20 hours a week. 20 hours a week. That's all you got to do to continue to receive your welfare. Okay? Next, we have Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP, also known as food stamps. The aim of SNAP, formerly the Food Stamp Program, is to provide affordable and healthy meals to the neediest families, many of whom are low to no income. It is one of the most important components of the U.S. safety net. Interesting choice of words. It is one of the most important components of the U.S. safety net. For many of the poorest Americans, SNAP has become the only form of income assistance they receive. Probably because if you get any type of income, you don't get the tanf, the welfare. Now listen, I don't have a problem with food stamps. I really don't. People should eat. I don't want anyone to be hungry. I don't want anyone at the end of the day to be homeless. I don't understand the program because they just continue to increase it. And I think that it's being less restrictive on what it is that you can buy. At this point, you might as well let people accept it in McDonald's and everywhere else. You can't say that you didn't let them eat, okay? But it's supposedly designed so that people can eat more nutritious meals, which means they have to cook them, all right? SNAP, the nation's largest anti-hunger program, helped over 40 million low-income Americans to afford a nutritionally adequate diet, with children under the age of 18 being the largest recipient. The assistance comes in the form of a debit card, which the recipient can use to purchase grocery items in participating stores within their locality. To apply for SNAP, you must fill out an application, return it. All right. Number third for this particular video is Women, Infants, and Children Program, also known as WIC. I don't have a problem with WIC. I think it's a great program. I think it specifically for the kids, and that's why I like this particular program. But it is also specifically for families with children. But it says here, so it says WIC is a federal funded nutrition program that provides free healthy foods to pregnant women, new mothers, and children under 5 years of age who are considered to be at nutritional risk. This is also income-based. It is designed as a short-term program with eligible recipients usually receiving benefits for 6 months to a year, at which time they must reapply. In a typical month, women in the program receive $11 per month for fresh fruits and vegetables, while children receive $9 per month. So if you all think that that's a total of $20 for the month, no. Eligibility is determined by nutritional risk and incomes that fall below 185% of the poverty level, but in most states, priority will be given to TANF recipients. So if you're already on welfare, you're automatically going to get food stamps, which makes sense, right? So it also says if you fall below the 185% of the poverty level. So we all know who's at top of the poverty level with single women with kids, right? So odds are they're receiving WIC. Again, I don't have a problem with WIC. These amounts are not accurate. They must have meant to say day. WIC will give you fruits and vegetables on a weekly basis. So you go back each week to get more fruits and vegetables and milk, formula, and probably some other crap that I don't remember. So I don't have a problem with this program. I really don't. Especially since it's specifically for the kids. And they need this, especially if you're an infant and say that the parent is not going to breastfeed. It's important for them to get all the nutrients that they can. Okay. Child Care Assistance Program, CCAP, purchase of care. So funded by the Child Care and Development Block Grant, CCAP is a state administered program that helps low income families pay for child care while working, searching for a job, or attending school or training. Most states require families receiving child care assistance to contribute toward their child care cost based on a sliding fee scale that is designed to charge higher co-payments to families with higher income. Eligibility guidelines vary state to state, but in most cases, your income must not be greater than the income limit set by your state in which you reside. Okay? So in other words, if you're working, this is a good program too. It's gotten a little convoluted from what I understand when I used to dole this out, but if you're truly out here, trying to work, you're trying to get your income up, people who are trying to move forward to get off of all of the assistance, shouts out to Purchase of Care, also known as Child Care Assistance Program. And you got to find a daycare that accepts it. That could be a headache. Then you got to abide by all their rules. Child, it's too much. This is one of the things that I don't think people also take into consideration when they're having all these kids. Where are you going to send them? These are 5 more programs that are out here, and the state, the federal level, everyone else is giving all these benefits out here. It's available now. You got to go look for it, apply for it, seek it out, whatever. I don't like to hear people woe is meing it when there's so much available. And all this was a Google search. Okay, so far we have TANF, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, that's welfare. Then we have Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, also known as food stamps. Then we have Women, Infant, and Children Program, also known as WIC. Then we have Child Care Assistance Program, also known as Purchase of Care, CCAP. And then there is Child Care Access Means Parents in School Program, CANVA, abbreviated, never heard of it. So this reads, the Child Care Access Means Parents in School Program, known as CCAMPIS, is the only federal grant program dedicated to providing campus-based child care for low-income parents and post-secondary education. Key Campus is intended to support lower-income student parents who need childcare assistance in order to remain in school and graduate with a college degree, but most will have to get on a wait list. I have never heard of this before, child. Campus is intended to support lower-income student parents who need childcare assistance in order to remain in school and graduate with a college degree, but most will have to get waitlisted. Applications are considered for childcare assistance through campus funding on the basis of eligibility status, financial income, need, resources, and family contribution levels. So you going to college, you got kids, you poor, you've gotten the Pell Grant, the federal aid, the blah, 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 all the stuff we talked about in the first video. If you're getting the daggone TANF, if you're getting the daggone food stamps, if you're getting the daggone WIC, if you're maybe already getting childcare, you then can turn around and get campus. Because if you are in college, trying to graduate, low income, you can get babysitting services basically. So all this is available, which means to me is that you can even still go to school, even if you are low income, because you got all these benefits here to help you before you graduate. Then you graduate and hopefully you can make the right amount of money so that you can then get off of all these benefits and take care of yourself. Point all this out to say, the woe is me has got to go. I will come back with another video with 5 more because we have barely cracked into this whole list. So that's it. That's all. If you made it this far, I do appreciate you. Please consider subscribing. I will see you all in the next one.
Some money to go. If they prepare, give us some relocators, then I would move tonight.